Inspections are like opinions. They're always different depending on who you're talking to. So let's talk about how we can handle them. If I sent 3 different home inspectors through the same property at different times during the exact day, I would get 3 very different inspection reports. It has nothing to do with an inspector being superior or inferior. It has to do with personality, experience, and methodology, the way they conduct their physical inspection. In the state of Pennsylvania, we have an oversight on home inspectors for like certain standards, but there is no criteria for exactly what has to be inspected in which particular order, and which components are or are not considered a part of that inspector's inspection. And so because of that, there are things that some home inspectors will pay attention to. There are things that some home inspectors will not pay attention to. And I think it's very important as a consumer that we understand what the purpose of a home inspection actually is. A home inspector is a third party who is brought into a transaction for 2 purposes. The first purpose is to help give some additional insight to the prospective buyer as to the current condition of the property that they are interested in buying. Okay, so they're going to look for things that the buyer may not have picked up on when they were looking at the home before they placed their offer, things like that. But a home inspector is also supposed to come into the home and note defects to the property. And some of them can be super small, or what we consider maybe like a petty or a cosmetic preference. And then some of them could be very big, things that actually affect the safety and soundness of an individual property. So when we're dealing with the home inspection, whether we're on the listing side or we're on the buyer's side, our strategy is generally always the same. We want to be paying attention to the things that were not known when we placed the offer. So when you look through the house, you saw it in its present condition. The things that were there when you viewed the home, those are pre-existing. You knew that when you submitted your offer, right? But the things that you didn't know that were found out during the inspection, or the things that come up on the inspection report that directly affect the safety of the home, like people living in the house, and then also the soundness of the home, the longevity, kind of trying to prevent some deterioration to the property. Outside of those 2 segments during a home inspection, the rest of it is just information for you to know about the new house that you're purchasing so that you can be taking care of it as you see fit during your ownership. All real estate transactions, according to our agreement of sale, are considered an as-is transaction unless otherwise agreed to between the buyer and the seller. So just because Mr. or Mrs. Seller may not have put enough coats of paint on an individual wall and Mr. or Mrs. Buyer want them to do so, that has nothing to do with the safety and soundness of a specific property. So we're very careful to make sure that although the inspection reports can vary, we're making sure that we're always guiding the consumer to be paying attention to things that are truly important, and then be dealing with the personal preference things outside of closing afterwards. So inspections are like opinions. Every inspector is going to have a different perspective, and so every inspection report is going to be different, so we don't get hung up on that too much. We really just want to focus on the overarching condition of the property, making sure that it's a good fit for you long term. I'll see you soon.